to repeat it over again, or you're going to find yourself back in the same predicament that you were before when it comes to decision-making skills. And if you have a family, you're going to wind up hurting them and yourself all over again. The third step in decision-making skills is that you want to own being responsible for your life. This is very important. You want to own being responsible for your life. In other words, once you learn to forgive yourself and recognize the choices and mistakes and sins that you've made and why you've made such poorly decisions, and accept the things that you cannot change and admit where you were wrong to yourself so that you can be honest with yourself, because you got to live with yourself so that you can move on with your life, then you want to own being responsible for your life. You can then say, I own being responsible for my life because I have been honest with myself. I've chose to go back in the past and realize and understand why I made some of the decisions that I made so that I won't have to continue to repeat the same pattern over again when it comes to especially important decisions. And then the fourth final step is in the decision-making skills. Accept being responsible for your life and start being responsible for your life. So you own being responsible for your life. So now you can, in fact, it's much easier to accept being responsible for your life, and you can start being responsible for your life by saying, I need to start making better decisions for myself, and if I have a family, for my family, or if I have a husband or wife, for my husband or wife, or if it's just you, for myself. And then you want to write down why. Why should I make better decisions? One could be that you love yourself. If you love yourself, you don't want to continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. You want to do better. Say, for example, people who have made wrong financial decisions, they could say, I'm going to learn from this and not continue to make the same wrong financial decisions again in my life, because that's not what I want to do. Now, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the decision questions that you need to ask yourself before you make a decision. This is Encouragement in the Trauma on Blog Talk Radio. I am your host, Encouragement Javi. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be right back after this break.
Don't give up without. Find your strength gonna give up on myself. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna give up on myself. I won't quit. I won't stop. I won't give up on myself. I won't quit. I won't stop. I won't give up on myself.
Welcome back. You're tuned in with Encouragement and Trauma Radio on Blog Talk Radio. I am your host, Encouragement Javi. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. We were talking about decision-making skills. We're getting ready to wrap things up with the decision questions, but I want to discuss with you decision skills. We were talking about the 4 steps that you needed to take when you're making in the decision skills process. The first step was to learn to forgive yourself for the choices, mistakes, and sins that you have made, and then you want to look back in your past and find out, realize, and understand what caused you to make those decisions, whether it was poor skill making, whether it was out of anger or resentment, whether it was out of fear, whether it was out of just not wanting to deal with a current situation that you were in at that time. And then secondly, in your decision-making skills, you want to accept the things that you cannot change. In other words, once you're honest with yourself and you write, whether it's writing it down in a journal or whether it's just saying it out loud to yourself in your home or quietly to yourself in your home about why you chose to make the decisions you made, whether the decisions was a dumb decision or just a faulty decision or just some decision you chose to make real quick and then think it through, you begin to accept the things that you cannot change and understand that you need to do better so that you won't continue to make the same decisions over again. As well, you want to move on to the third step, which is you want to begin to own being responsible for your life. This is very important. Once you begin to own being responsible for your life, what you're saying is, I had to learn to forgive myself for the choices, mistakes, and sins that I've made. I understand why I made that choice, and I accept the things that I cannot change. Whether they were right or wrong, I own responsibility for that, so that I can begin owning being responsible for my life. And then you can move on to the 4th step, which is being responsible for your life and start being responsible for your life. So when you do that, the 4th step, accept being responsible for your life and start being responsible for your life, you can ask yourself, why do I want to make great decisions for myself? One answer could be because I am an important person and I must learn to love myself. Or it could be, if you're dealing with finances, because I want to have a better financial handle on my finances. Or if it's concerning health and you've made poor choices concerning your health, you could say something like, it's because I want to start being much healthier and eating better, or I want to live longer. Let your decision be your decision about why you want to accept being responsible for your life and start being responsible for your life and your decision-making skills. And then we can move on to your decision questions. Before you make a decision, there are some questions that you should ask yourself. The first question would be, will this decision affect or effect the rest of my life? If you're going to make a decision, say, for example, concerning marriage, of course you know it's going to affect the rest of your life. Whether it's 20 years down the road and you're not married 20 years from now or not, or you are married 20 years from now or not, it's going to have an effect on you and whatever children you bring into this world or whatever children you already have. And your ex-husband or ex-wife, if they are your ex, or the person you're still married to at that time. And it's also going to be affecting you through your whole marriage, whatever choices you all make together or choose not to make together, whether it's financial, whether it's deciding to work things out and being a partner, and how you're going through your problems. How you choose to go through your problems together will have an effect on you, and it will affect you through your whole time in marriage. So that's very important. Will this decision affect the rest of my life? So you want to think about that decision question. And then secondly, you want to pray about important decisions that you make. Studies have shown that prayer, most people that pray, really things can really help them. I don't want to say things. God can really help you. You can see things more clearly and thoroughly. Sometimes when people's emotions are up in a roar, as they start beginning to pray or quoting scriptures, it can actually help calm and soothe the mental mindset where you're able to import better decision-making skills. So you want to decide, will this decision affect the rest of my life? You want to pray about your important decisions that you make. And you don't want to pray selfishly. You want to pray that your eyes of your understanding will be enlightened so that you can decide what is best, what decision skills or decision you need to make, even if it's just yourself, or if it's yourself and your husband or wife, or if it's yourself and your children, or if it's yourself and you're taking care of a loved one. And thirdly, you want to give yourself some time to think about your decision before you make it. If you have to make a rushy decision, and if you can give yourself 1 to 3 days where you're praying about it, the decision in the morning and in the night, and some people pray morning, evening, and night, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, it will give you some time to think about your decision and get it embedded in your mind before you actually make your decision, so that you can understand the importance of the decision and who will it affect in your life and in your lifetime. Some people make decisions after they're long gone that will affect their children for the rest of their life. Or if they didn't have any children and they have family members and they're still living, it's going to affect them for the rest of their life. And then fourthly, you want to have a peace, quiet, and calm day to think about the decision that you're going to make and seek wise counsel. When everything is rushy and an uproar and the TV's going, all kinds of music is going, unless it's like calm, soothing music, it's hard to think clearly. But if you can be quiet and be still, whether it's through meditation, whether it's just through you being quiet and quieting your mind, where you can get calm so that you can think about your decision, you can do better when it comes to your decision making. And then you want to seek wise counsel. Wise counsel could be somebody who is for you, because everybody isn't for you in your decision making. There are some people that would be happy that you're not making good decisions because they might not be making good decisions, or maybe they're used to you making the wrong decision. You want to pray so that you can also know the proper person, maybe to seek some counsel about it. Reading the Bible is a good one as well. We're getting ready to end the show. Please join us at Spreaker, Spreaker.com/user, USER/encouragement. If you'd like to download our toolbar, you can do that at encouragementblossomsservices.ourtoolbar.com, or you can visit our site at encouragementindietrauma.org. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Encouragement Javi. Happy holidays. Make great decisions today.